I think we can get started now. So yes, welcome everybody. My name is Ruan Sinnert. I am the new customer success manager at the Messenger Network. I really wanted to put my camera on as well, just so that you can see my face. There's quite a few things that I want to share with you guys today, but I want to make this an interactive session. So I really want to encourage you, if you have any questions, leave them at the chat, and then I'm going to come through them at the end. But I am also going to be asking some questions from my own side as well. So I would appreciate it if there is some of you who is brave enough to give an answer. That would be much appreciated. So if we look at what we are going to cover today. So firstly, we are going to cover the AI Copilot that lives within Wati. So this is already available to all of you who is currently on the Wati platform. So for those new clients that might have joined us, if you are not yet on the Wati platform, please book a meeting with either me or one of our sales team, and they will be able to assist you from there. The second thing that we are going to look at is the CX scoring and intelligence. So this is going to be, how do we actually measure what our team is delivering? So I'm not going to go take a deep dive now. We're going to keep that for when we get there. And then the last one is the one that's my personal favorite, and that is Astra Gen 3 AI. So Astra actually lives within your Wati platform, but it can also be plugged into your website as well. Then I'm going to do a short demo just to show you exactly where to find all of these features. And then we are going to do a live Q&A where you can either raise your hand and ask a question yourself, or you can just pop a question in the chat. Okay, perfect. So the first thing that I want to have a look at is, let's look at the big problem that we are experiencing these days. And this is in all kinds of businesses. So what we found in the research that we did is that about 60% of all customers, they abandon when they don't get a response, when they don't hear back from you. And what do? They then go to your competitor. So 60% of the time that happens unless your customer is very loyal. What we can also see is that about 8 hours per day per agent gets wasted on manual admin tasks, writing messages, drafting templates. So this also takes a lot of time away from your team. So what we want to do in this session is show you ways that your platform can firstly perform better, but also perform faster as well. And this will then allow your team to then have more hours available for high value activities. So think about it this way. If you have a sales team, you obviously want them to be focusing on your high value clients. You don't want to reach out to everybody that says, do you have a job? Unless you're a recruitment agency, but do you have a job, or what does this cost? So all of those things we can set up automated. And then what we also see is about if we look at globally on the platform as well, we see that about 30% of your workday is then missed by doing these manual admin things. So I'm not a big fan of admin myself, so these tools have been very useful for me. And I know that if you are throughout a busy day and you're interacting with a lot of clients, then obviously some of these things get neglected, because obviously you want to focus on that client right there and right now, and then your inbox starts piling up. So we can see that a lot of these different admin things takes a lot of time. If it's responses, if it's message drafting, if it's summaries, if it's having to go and read through an entire conversation for context. So all of these things actually plays a big part in every business today. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the Wati AI Copilot. So this already exists within your platform. So it's a layer on top of your platform that already exists that is usable for you as well. So there's no migration or complex setup needed. You can actually technically make use of this yourself. If you do need any guidance on how to use this, then obviously our team would also be able to support you as well. So the 3 of the 4 areas where it focuses on all your outbound messages, your inbox. It helps with you managing your team, and then it also helps with analytics as well. And as someone I really love data, so the analytics has been so fruitful for myself as well, especially when I do a performance review of a platform for a client. Then that analytics definitely gives me enough information about what's currently happening within the company and what are the key areas for us to focus on as well. So how it works is each phase then flows into the next. So we look at your outbox, your inbox, your management, and then your analytics. So think of it as this pyramid of everything coming together to make sure that your business performs the best that it can. So let's say, for instance, you have an estate agency, you've got 8 agents, and they all have like different styles. So what Copilot does, it standardizes the messaging, how it works across the entire team. I remember when I was younger, I used to have a mentor, and he used to say that we are all Simba chips, but we all have a different flavor. So let's keep the flavor of our team, but then also let's keep still a bit of structure. We are all Simba chips. So let's still keep the structure and then just let all of your team members add their own flavor to it. So let's have a look at your new Copilot. So you can see that this is a suite of tools that is going to be integrated directly into your platform. It is actually existing right now. You can go and access this right now, but please just go through this webinar with me first. So obviously, the first thing that we will cover is smarter marketing templates. I will go a bit deeper into that. Faster, consistent replies, instant conversation context, and then you can also measure every interaction as well. Okay, so obviously, all of these things does cost credits. So I don't know how much you guys know about AI, but AI lives within big data centers, and that takes a lot of power, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of water to manage these things. So that's why, unfortunately, these things are not free. So if we have a look at the different plans that we offer at the Messenger Network, you will see that the standard plan gives you about 250 credits a month. Your professional plan, which is obviously our most popular plan, that gets you to about 500 credits a month. And then our enterprise plan has the most credits. This is really for your big businesses. They get about 1,500 credits per month. So this is the credits that is going to be going towards your AI agent that is living on your platform. So each action that the agent performs is actually going to cost you 1 credit. And then when we move on to the CX scoring, we will see that that costs about 3 credits per action, because obviously this the CX scoring is going to take a lot more processing power. But the cool thing about this is you will be notified once your credits start getting lower. You should excuse me, English is actually my second language. But when your credit starts getting lower, you will get a heads up. You will get a notification on your platform, and that's going to happen at 70%, at 90%, and at 100% usage. And unfortunately, these credits do not roll over. So what you are going to need to do is make sure that you make use of these credits. You have them already. Make use of them. It's not going to cost you anything extra. We really want to add value for our clients. We want to make sure that you are using your credits effectively as well. If you are ever in need of any extra credits, you might have maybe run out of credits, then you can always reach out to our team on our WhatsApp platform, and we can get you sorted within a few minutes. So it's very easy to do as well. So if you ever run out of credits, you can always reach out on our WhatsApp support channel. Okay, cool. So let's have a look at the first feature, which I think is actually very cool. So I'm not a marketing manager. I don't have a marketing background. And I think a lot of times the person that is the main admin on the platform is also not a marketing agent. Your bigger businesses, they do have a dedicated marketing person assigned. And then at the Message Network, we also have professional services. So then you get an entire marketing team doing the marketing for your business on the WhatsApp platform. But coming back to where most of us currently are, the thing is, what happens is Meta is very strict on what kind of messages it approves, what kind of messages it actually lets through. So what Copilot does is, what you can do is you can write a draft, and I want you guys to think of it at ChatGPT. Who of us knows we use ChatGPT for our emails? I always make the joke and say ChatGPT is for kids, but if you want to get help with drafting emails, then obviously ChatGPT can do that for you. So think of this as ChatGPT, but right inside there where you create your template. So you can, for instance, say there what you want, what you have an idea in, and then what it is going to do is it's going to analyze your draft against Meta's quality guidelines, giving you almost 100% success rate of approval. It's also going to flag problem areas in plain English for you as well. And then it uses what is database of proven high-performing templates. So you would have seen in your platform, there is templates that you can use, and this is actually programmed on that. So this is going to improve the kind of messaging that your client receives as well. Because remember, that is in most cases going to be your first point of contact within your funnel. So you want that to be perfect. So if you see on the screen here, you can see, for instance, the original will be, hey, buy now, crazy deals, click here, 50% off, limited time only, don't miss out. And then you can see how it would look rewritten for it to be approved. You can see it automatically puts a custom node in there, or it can put a custom name in there, and then you don't have to type everyone out. And that actually saves you a lot of time. So this costs about 1 credit per message that you then let the Copilot rewrite for you. Okay. Another cool thing about this is you have, like I've mentioned earlier, you've got 5 different agents. They all have 5 different tones that they work with, and they all have 5 different levels of quality, how they work and how they respond to a customer. So what you want to do as a business is you want to train your Copilot to match your specific tone of your business. So how you like to interact with clients. If you are a sales team, more sales related. If you are a support team, more support related. If you are a general platform, you can definitely specify that as well. But the most important thing here is it can match the tone of your business. The next thing that I want to also highlight is, and I think especially my generation from Gen Z and up, we have a big spelling problem. We can't spell anymore. So what it does is it fixes the grammar, and it also improves your writing as well. So it helps with that typos, it tightens your sentences, because sometimes we struggle with sentence construction as well. And this makes the reply a lot easier as well. So then it's just about 1 click before it actually starts sending it. The next thing that it can do is it can draft a full reply from your conversation history, your knowledge base, your brand, and your tone. So the agent can review and send it. And I'll actually show you later on how this actually works. So in your Wati platform, once you are within a chat, then Copilot will actually have the context of that entire chat, and it can then give an automatic reply. Google also does a similar thing. You guys would see in Gmail as well. If you open your Gmail, then sometimes at the bottom there, it would already show you its automated reply, because it knows the conversation history. This works exactly the same, but it lives within WhatsApp, there where your clients interact every day. So this also then costs 1 credit per action. So what you can upload for a knowledge base, you can upload past messages, you can upload documents, you can upload manuals, frequently asked questions, and website links as well. However, the website links one I would not recommend, because that causes the AI to hallucinate a lot, and it's not as strong as the Astra AI that we are going to cover later on. So past messages is fine, upload documents is fine, and manual Q&As, that is also going to be fine as well. What I've also learned is MD files works the best, because an AI can read an MD file a lot easier than it can read, for instance, a PDF. So that's just, it's not something that you have to do, but it's just a personal recommendation. Okay, so something that is also quite cool, South Africa has 11 official languages. So I might, for instance, sit here in Cape Town. Now someone from Pretoria or Johannesburg or Durban messages me, and they message me in Afrikaans, or they message me in Xhosa, or they message me in Zulu. So now the thing is, I need to translate. So what would I do? I would switch tabs. I would go to Google Translate and go and translate every message, copy and paste it right in. So what Copilot can do is it can do live translation. So like you can see on the screen there is, it would, for instance, you can see there, I'm not going to try to read that, but it would say Sambona, and what you will see underneath it is that is how Copilot translated it into English. And then you can actually reply in English, and then it is going to answer the client within their own language. So all of our Afrikaans people, maybe our Afrikaans spelling is maybe not as good as our English spelling, but then it can also translate it for you to make sure that this actually happens the correct way. And the nice thing is this is available for our standard, professional, and our enterprise team as well, if that makes sense. Okay, so now the thing is, usually what happens to our agents is you have a very long interaction with a client. So what you can do is you can turn Copilot on. It has an automatic mode, but it also has a manual mode as well. So if you have to scroll through 50 messages for context, let's say you are picking up where another team member left off, the team member is sick for a day, or for instance, the team member is on lunch. Now you have to go through all 50 conversations to get a kind of context of what is actually happening on this chat. What kind of actions do I need to take? So if it is on automatic mode, it would automatically generate a summary, but there's also a manual button that you can push as well. So you just click on the button and then it is going to create a summary for you in about 30 seconds. So like you would see, for instance, the summary that we have there on the right-hand side, you can see if an agent gets something like that, they know exactly, okay, this customer initiated late delivery, that's a tracking number, it's confirmed, it had a depot, the agent escalated to the logistics partner and offered it as goodwill, and then there's some key dates, and there's also some action items for you as well. So something that's very important to remember is it needs a minimum of 10 messages before it is going to start generating a summary, because obviously it would not have enough context. Okay, so the next one that I want to chat to is going to be about CX scoring and CX intelligence. But before I do that, is there anyone that knows what CX scoring and CX intelligence is? You can maybe just raise your hand, or maybe just drop it in the text, in the chat bot, in the chat of this Google Meet. You can drop it there. But is there anyone that actually knows what CX scoring and CX intelligence are? Who's going to be brave? Yes, thank you, Kelly. So the cool thing about CX scoring and CX intelligence is we all know that our traditional CSAT forms that we fill in, we send our clients surveys, we want a response from them. So this sometimes gets automatically through to email from the client, but I want you to ask yourself an honest question. How many clients actually replies to those emails, giving you some real feedback as well? So the great thing about this is it actually happens within your platform. So the data is already there. So the AI can then go and analyze every message, and then it can go and give a different CX score for every interaction as well. So it can, for instance, pick up if a customer was happy, if a customer was angry. So you can also then get a better idea of exactly how, firstly, your team is performing, but then also what is the general feeling around your customers. Are your customers truly happy? Are they frustrated? Are they angry? Are they feeling that they are not being heard? So all of those things can be highlighted by CX scoring as well. And I'm going to show you later, it definitely gives you a lot of different insights as well. So there's no surveys, there's no reminders, there's just going to be objective data as well. So it's going to be running in the background the whole time. All that you have to do is you can just go to your What platform, you can go to analytics, and you will see on the side there, there's a thing that says CX scoring. You can turn this on as well. So this is available for standard, professional, and enterprise plan as well. So let's say, for instance, you are a health clinic and you get about 200 chats per month. So if you get out of those 200, you send out surveys and you get about 15 of them back. That doesn't give you the full picture of what is actually going on your platform. Where the great thing about this is it is happening automated, and every conversation forms part of this analysis, if that makes sense. So this basically just follows up on what I just said. So stop asking customers how you did and start knowing. So it is going to give you a professional CS score. It's always going to be out of 5. Those of you that works within the industry, you would know exactly why we use 5. So it's not the traditional way of doing things, but this is definitely where the world is going. Data is becoming more and more powerful, and data allows us to make key business decisions on how do we improve interaction with our customers, what are the main issues that our customers has, and then what can we do about this and how can we improve. So like I've mentioned, this is available in our standard, professional, and our enterprise plan as well. Okay, so how does it work? So it looks like there's a lot of math going on here, but it's actually straightforward. So the first thing that it looks at is your customer sentiment. So what is the tone about your messengers? Like I've mentioned, what kind of emotions are your clients displaying in these messengers? So it can pick up the customer sentiment. Then it has a look at your issue resolution. So was this problem actually solved by the end of the chat or not? So here you can also see the effectiveness of your team members. Are they just closing chats? Are they ignoring clients? Or is the client getting exactly what they are looking for? And I think for all us here in South Africa, service delivery is such a big thing, and it's something that we all pride ourselves on. So we want to make sure that our clients actually get the help and they actually get from our platform what they need. So it then also have a look at your service quality. What was the kind of quality of the responses to your customers? Was it timely? Was it genuinely helpful? Did your sales agent or your call center person or your support person, did they take 5 hours to reply to this client? What would have happened in that 5 hours? The client would have already gone to your competitor. This is what's so interesting about the world. We have so many options with internet, with AI. If you are not going to be actively engaging with your customers in a chat interface, they are going to go to a place where they get that kind of service delivery. So for instance, what it does is it takes the number of messengers, it times that by 100, and then it divides it by these 3 categories, and then you get a CX score. So usually a 3 is okay, a 4 is good, and a 5 is excellent. 5 is very rare. But if it is a 2 or a 1, then you know there is going to be work that needs to be done. But the platform will actually show you the key areas where work needs to be done. Okay, so what it does is it actually tracks the score day by day. So you can now go and see and say, okay, Mondays, I can see definitely my agents are not performing as they should. So on Monday, there was a bit of a drop there. So my agents, they're usually on Mondays and then on Fridays. I know that's what the data tells us, but let's not get personal here. But it's usually on Mondays and Fridays where your team they are not performing to the way that they can actually. So then it actually pulls up every low-rated chat instantly. Then you as an admin can go and have a look and see, okay, this is where it went wrong. So now you can pinpoint, so you can now go and tell Sunny, this message that you sent to the customer, look at this message. This was a very, I don't want to say bad message, but you could have done a lot better here. Here is a few pointers for you to improve. So the CX scoring is not there to criticize your team. It's here to help to improve your team as well. And if you can then communicate that kind of feedback to your team members, that's going to improve the overall performance of your team as well. And that also then translates to better service delivery as well. So what it actually does is it automatically gives the manager an update on how it is faring. And this actually then happens every Monday. So what happens is it can then see what are your customers actually contacting you about. And the key insight here is it also shows you, for instance, what kind of departments gets the most traffic And you can also then staff your departments this way. So for instance, if we see here shipping and delivery, we see that there's about 2.5 of them coming in there. So that gets a score about 2.4. So we can see that service delivery or shipping and delivery, that definitely needs attention. Then we look, okay, billing and refunds, it's okay, not great, but I definitely need to speak to the billing and refunds guys because there is some key insights that they need to start improving in the platform. And then also product queries as well. So we can see there, okay, product queries, the team that's handling the product queries, they are actually doing a great job. And then usually your account teams, these are the super admin people, they usually do a good job there as well. But this kind of insights, unfortunately, is only available on the professional, on the enterprise plan. But the rest of the insights that I talked about, that is also available on the standard plan as well. But the CX intelligence, this part of it, this deep dive that I will show you later, this is only available to our professional and our enterprise clients. Okay, so like I've mentioned earlier, your team is going to get the performance report every Monday. So you can then see as an admin, okay, this is, for instance, Yanni's report. We can see Yanni had 62 positive conversations. He had 8 negative conversations. And if we measure that to last week, we can see that Yanni is actually slowly improving as well. We can then also see that Yanni is very empathic, and we can also see that the areas that Yanni needs to improve is going to be his resolution time on billing queries. So he averages about 22 minutes, and your rest of your team is 14 minutes. So I want you to visualize this. What kind of impact can you then actually have if you do have this knowledge on your team? If you can actively train your people better, have key insights on where they can improve, and you can just continuously improve. So we can say, for instance, okay, guys, this Monday, we had an overall team score of, let's say, for instance, 3.3. Goal for the end of next week is let's try to get that to a 4. So ask yourself, what can I do today to help my team to get to a 4? So you understand exactly what kind of power this kind of data can give you. So it's already in a report. It's not like you have to go through the analytics yourself. You are going to receive a report every Monday anyway from your platform. So like I've mentioned, this is only available on the professional and the enterprise plan. Okay, so now how do I switch Copilot on? So like I said, this is already within your platform. It just needs to be switched on. And obviously, the better you follow these 3 steps, the better it is going to perform. So at the moment, as it is, without doing anything to it, if you switch it on, it can do, for instance, the marketing templates for you. It can, for instance, do the translate for you. And it can, for instance, it can definitely do the summary for you. But if you want, for instance, the quick replies, then you are going to have to go through these steps. So the first thing is we need to actually turn it on. So you can go to settings, Copilot, and then you can put your global translation on, and you can then paste in your brand tone and a short description. If you don't know what to put in there, you can definitely reach out to one of our team. We can assist you with that. The next thing is feed it the knowledge base. You will see there's a little book button there that you can then add your knowledge base. So you can see, for instance, you can add messengers there, like I said, you can add documents there, you can add frequently asked questions there as well. And then it has a knowledge base. So then it would be able to actually start and doing the quick replies for you, which is definitely, if you work within a team inbox, you would know how long it sometimes takes you to reply. So what if you just had a reply in a push of a button? And then obviously the most important step is you have to monitor and you need to make changes if you see that this thing is not performing the way that you should. So the way that AI works is it gets better over time, but it is going to go through a learning phase and so on. But the thing is, the more information you give it, the less chance of hallucinations there is, and also the better it is going to perform as well. So it definitely takes less than 60 minutes. It can take 5 minutes as well if you have all the documents beforehand. If you have to go and look for the documents, then obviously that's going to take a little bit longer. But I really want to encourage you is if you feel you're not the kind of technical person, you don't want to be hands-off with these kind of things, you can always reach out to our team and we can assist you with this as well. If you want to, you can book a quick meeting with me as well from customer success, and then we can do a quick Google Meet session like this, and I can share my screen and I can show you exactly what to do and just give you a brief again about what are the kind of documents that you need to include there. Okay, so the next one that I want to talk about is going to be Astra. So some of you might have actually already seen some Astra demos, but Astra is our next level AI agent. So the cool thing about Astra is I always tell people, think about Astra as an extra person on your team. So think of Astra as you're actually hiring an extra employee, but at a fraction of the cost of a normal employee. If we go and compare Astra to the cost of a normal employee, the great thing about Astra is very specialized. So what you can have is you can, for instance, have a sales agent. You can that handles sales conversations. It's going to route automatically to the sales agent if it is a sales conversation. Then you can also have, for instance, like a support agent. So that's for questions asked, general info that your clients need. That's a support agent, and it's usually very helpful and it gives them very detailed information. You don't want your sales agent, for instance, to overload people with information. Then you can also, for instance, get like a booking agent that can be plugged in to book calendar meetings for your team as well. So let's say, for instance, you're a dentist, you have an office, and you have a WhatsApp platform, and your clients can interact there. It can go and have a look on your Google Calendar or whatever calendar you prefer. You can go and have a look there, look where there's space, and then it can actually come back and book it. It can book a time there firstly, but then it can actually come and share the details with the client and say, okay, Sunny, I booked you for 3 o'clock Friday afternoon. Have fun. You go. Good luck with your teeth. So that's one of the things. Astra is very human-like. Think of it as ChatGPT, for instance. So ChatGPT is not going to give you a main menu and then ask you, do you want contact details? Do you want this? Do you want this? You interact with it in the chat as if you were chatting with a person, which is great. So let's quickly compare, because I think there's a big misunderstanding about the difference between your normal chatbot, your NoBot, and Astra as well. So the thing about the chatbot is, unfortunately, while it is great, and we use chatbots for years now, and it's definitely very productive, it resets after every chat, unfortunately. The chatbot also works on keyword triggers. So it has to look for certain keywords to be able to answer the client. If it can't find those keywords, then the bot is not going to work. So it works with matching. So that's the technical term that we use is it uses matching. So it looks for a specific keyword, and if that keyword is not present, then nothing is going to happen. It's also not set up for different languages. Like I said, this comes back to the keywords. So I can, for instance, say calendar, then it can route me. But if I say calendar, soos ons sê in Afrikaans, then nothing is going to happen because obviously that keyword is not there. And the thing that the chatbot does is it can't solve conversations on its own. It can't solve clients' problems on its own. It's going to redirect them only then to a real person from there. And then it only answers your FAQs. It can't answer much more than that. And it's just going to give basic templates that you set up beforehand. Then we moved a little further along the line. We moved into the NoBot, which is already great. So a NoBot can remember a short session. So it doesn't have the kind of memory that Astra has, but it can remember up to 5 messages. So it has a basic understanding of what's going on in the message. It worked with basic NLP, but the NoBot's languages is also very limited. You get, for instance, you get English, you get Spanish, you get German, and what was the other one, I think? I think it was Chinese was the other one. That's the languages. And if you think about it, how many of those languages do we actually use in South Africa? And then Nobot also looks for basic tags. So a Nobot can see, is this a sales conversation? Is that a booking conversation? Is this a calendar conversation? So a Nobot is still useful, but it's not going to be as advanced as Astra. So your Nobot just reduces the basic load from your team. So it can handle, if it is well set up, it can handle up to 50% of your conversations. But if we compare that to Astra, you're going to see that makes a big difference. So let's get to Astra. So Astra has a client's full journey memory. That client, everything that has been discussed with that client. So to give you an example, a client can come in onto your WhatsApp channel, you're a big retailer, and the client comes in and says, I want pink earphones, and Astra gives him the information on the earphones, how much it costs, and so on. Then the client abandons the chat. Now, 2 weeks later, the client comes in again. What's the first thing that Astra's going to say? Hi, Yaku, for instance, are you still looking for pink earphones? So you can see it reminds the client about what they were busy with, and that can also help with revenue recovery as well. So that's actually the great thing, because we sometimes see a lot of drop-offs. Client is in the mood now to buy something. Let's say it's a Saturday night. They are like very in love with their girlfriend. They are going to buy a wedding ring now. But then the next morning, the reality hits them and they're like, oh, okay, no, I'm not interested in a wedding ring anymore. But then once they get back into your platform, you're a jewelry store, obviously what they are going to ask is, are you still looking for that wedding ring? You know, so it reminds the client about what they were busy with the previous time. It remembers names, it remembers conversations, it can remember things about you. So the full conversation history, and I can't state just how important that is. Then it also understands intent as well. So it can understand, does this person want to talk to sales? Does this person want to talk to marketing? Does this person want to talk to booking or support? It also understands, is this person actually very patient now, or does this person needs an answer right now? Is this person angry? Shouldn't I maybe hand this person over to a human? You know how angry we can get at AI sometimes, like, just do what I want, just do what I want. And we can get very frustrated. So the great thing about Astra is Astra can pick up that intent, and then Astra can then redirect and escalate where needed. It also includes about 30 languages. So it supports languages like, for instance, Afrikaans, Zulu, Xhosa. I think about 6 out of the 11 official languages is officially part of Astra. However, because Astra is a large language model, it can actually basically understand any language that is on the internet. However, it is only specialized in 30 languages. So that means those kind of languages are just going to get better replies, if that makes sense. So it can go through a full conversation history, it can escalate, and it can resolve an entire ticket without your team even touching that customer. So the thing to remember here is about control. So how much are you going to give to Astra? What part of your business? I always say, think about the things that overwhelms your teams. Think about the things that takes time away from them. All those questions, we all get them because it's the front of our funnel most of the times. We all get these multiple thousands of messages that is not really relevant. Or it is somewhat relevant, but it's not yet where we need it to be. So something cool that Astra can do is it can do lead qualification for you as well. So let's say, for instance, it can ask the client for name, surname, email address. It can ask the client, let's say your real estate, what is the budget that you are looking at? Are you looking to rent? Are you looking to buy? What's your budget for that as well? Are you looking long-term, short-term? So all of those things. So Astra can do full lead qualification. So then when it hands over to a human, then the human can see, okay, this is Josh from ABC company. Josh has a budget of 500,000 Rand. Josh wants to buy a 1-bedroom apartment. So for 500, that's not going to happen here in Cape Town, maybe there in Johannesburg. But Josh has a budget of 500,000. He wants to buy a 1-bedroom apartment, and he's looking to buy before June. So then that salesperson already know, okay, Josh is a very warm lead. I need to pay attention to Josh. The cool thing about Astra also is Astra integrates with the rest of your tools that you have available. So there's a lot of different tools that we can plug Astra in with. So for instance, your CRM, it can create a new deal for your team in your CRM. It can update contact details in your CRM. For instance, if your client share, my email address has changed, it will go to your CRM and it can find that contact and go change that contact there as well. So the cool thing about Astra is it can plug into a lot of the other tools that you use, and it can also then plug in, for instance, into your website as well. So you can have it live on your website to answer questions there. So it doesn't necessarily have to live in your WhatsApp. It can live on your website as well. So let me take you guys through the statistics, what we find. So what happens with Astra, for instance, is it replies instantly. We see that about 70% of all incoming conversations get solved by Astra. Not just handled by Astra, it actually gets solved by Astra without a human ever being hands-on. Because the thing is, when we look at when our teams usually slip up, it could be those 2 a.m. messages. It could happen on a Friday night, or it could happen at a Friday at 6 o'clock. Your team has just left the office. You know, what's going to happen now is that ticket is going to expire, and then you are going to have to go and have a look on your expired tickets on a Monday, and you're going to have to reopen that conversation. You would probably have a template for that to reopen that conversation where that client could have already been helped. Or let's say, for instance, you have one person or your whole team takes lunch on the same time. Now, who's going to handle your clients while your team is away? So that's definitely where Astra comes in as well. So when we look at it, we see that it saves about 3 hours per agent. So let's say you have 10 agents on your platform. That is 30 hours extra that your agents have to focus on high value activities. So what would 30 extra hours per week for your team mean to you? What would 3 hours per day per person mean to you? Think about the kind of meaningful work they can actually do within that time. And the thing is, Astra responds instantly, and it can continue an entire conversation, and it has 100% of the context of what is actually going on. So this is just a recap a bit about what Astra does that your chatbot cannot. So it has the full journey memory that we already established. It understands your intent and understanding. So it's no keywords. Astra knows the conversation. It's a large language model. It does auto-completion. It actually understands intent. It can switch languages mid-chat. This is very cool. So I show this always in a demo as well for clients. So let's say, for instance, your client is being very polite. He starts the chat in English, and now suddenly he's like me, his English runs out, and then he switches to Afrikaans. Then what does Astra do? It continues the conversation in Afrikaans with that client. So it can change your language mid-conversation, and it can always then switch back as well. As soon as Astra see your client is moving back to English, or now your client is speaking Zulu, they are perhaps like a schizophrenic, they've got multiple personalities, then they do like languages mid-chat, then obviously Astra can actually handle that as well. We need more of them in the psych wards. But anyway, Astra then have 100% of the context, and it can then hand off to one of your team if needed. But remember, Astra can actually take the client throughout the entire journey, which is great. Okay, so it's not just generic AI. So what we do is we actually go and scan your company's website. We go and scan, for instance, your documents. We go and scan your frequently asked questions. Any kind of documents that you want to upload to Astra, we can use that to train Astra as well. So whether you are in the automotive industry, so lead qualification, service bookings, parts inquiries, it can instantly recognize those across every branch that you have. For instance, in hotels and hospitality, check-in info, room queries, booking confirmation, all those kind of things. Call centers, just think about all the volume that your call centers are handling at the moment, the responses coming in, e-commerce, order status, returns, abandoned cart recovery, We actually recently had a client that made a lot of money out of their card recovery as well. Insurance, it can take claims, policy queries, it can route it to the persons available. And then if you look at healthcare, appointment booking, FAQs, after-hour queries, compliance. So it's always going to be on. Astra runs 24/7. Okay, so let's quickly, because I see our time is getting a bit, and I'm sorry, I'm very passionate about Astra, so our time is running out a bit. But how we set up Astra is you brief us. So you would usually come and sit with me. You're going to tell me, okay, what is it that you would like Astra to do within your business? You can then share your products, your FAQs, escalation rules, tone of voice, your CI for your company, your values, your mission, vision statement, how you would like Astra to respond. Do you want quick replies? Do you want longer replies? Do you want Astra to be more friendly? Do you want Astra to be maybe more professional? Just to make it sound more human as well. So then the next step is we are going to actually build Astra for you. So this is not something that you have to do yourself. We are actually going to configure and train Astra against your entire knowledge base. And then you have to approve it first. So what we will then do is we will do a full Astra demo. We will show exactly how Astra works. And unless you are happy, Astra will not go live. So you have to give us your sign off on that, because obviously we want to make sure that Astra is to the quality of what your business deserves. And then from there, Astra goes live. You don't have to do anything else. Astra is going to work on the background. So Astra goes live. It works within your current platform, or it can work within your website as well. So this is just a recap of everything that Astra needs. Like I said, full knowledge base, seamless What the integration. We do the testing and everything ourselves. And obviously you have the ongoing customer success support. So let's say for instance, you have been running Astra for 3 months now. You say, Ruan, okay, cool. This is a few things that I want Astra to change. You can always come back to me and then we can make those changes. So it's not going to be staying that forever. Astra can also make changes. And the thing is, within Astra, it's a lot easier to make changes than your traditional chatbot or your no-bot. Okay. So just a quick recap. So what the Copilot, that is for your marketing assistant, your AI editor, your translation, and your conversation summaries. Then when we go to the CX intelligence, that actually tells you about your clients. It gives you a CX score, it gives you the topics insights, and it gives you the operator insights as well. And then Astra Next Gen 3, this is going to be your full AI resolution, 24/7 access, 30 languages, and Astra is also available. So if you are interested, please contact us on this. So we don't unfortunately have time now. I wanted to show you guys exactly on where to go and have a look for these things. But if you are unsure, Agnisha is going to share my meeting link within the chat. So if you are unsure, please book a meeting with me. We do our live inbox training refresher every Thursday as well with Agnisha, that you can join there as well. And we can then actually show you where to go and find all of these features that I have spoken about. But I think the best way for you is, if you are unsure, you will see, here's all my details. So if you feel like this could potentially be one of the solutions for your business, then definitely pop me a message, start a chat on WhatsApp, give me a call, send me an email, book a conversation with me. The only thing that we can do is we can just have an honest conversation about what is currently happening within your business. And I think the great thing is we can have a look together and strategize and see what is actually possible for your business. How can we use these tools? Some of them, like the CX and the Copilot, is already available. It's not going to cost you anything extra. That's already available. How can we use these to improve your business? How can we improve your decision making? How can we improve the way that you interact with your clients? And at the end of the day, how can we help your business generate more revenue?